Many people live their lives quietly carrying a heavy weight. This weight is not made of stone or iron. It is made of thoughts. Thoughts about how life should be, how others should act, and how we ourselves should feel or behave. These are expectations, and while they are invisible, their presence can be deeply felt. Expectations often begin early in life. Parents, teachers, and society give us ideas about what is right or normal. We are taught to aim high, to be successful, to make others proud. These ideas are not always bad. They can help us grow and do well. But when they become too strong or too fixed, they begin to control us. Have you ever felt that you must always be strong, always kind, always perfect, or that certain things must happen in your life by a certain age, marriage, a good job, a house? These thoughts might seem normal, but they can become chains. When we do not meet these ideas, we may feel like we have failed. Even when life is good, if it does not match the picture in our minds, we may feel unhappy. There is also a quiet fear behind expectations, the fear of being judged, of not being enough. So we try to fit in, we try to look successful, to act in ways others expect. But in doing so, we often lose something, our freedom. The freedom to be ourselves, to accept life as it is, to live honestly. This burden is silent because we rarely speak of it. We may not even notice it. But we feel it, in the tension in our bodies, in our restless thoughts, in the sadness that has no clear reason. When we begin to notice this, something soft starts to change. We begin to ask, who created these expectations? Are they truly mine? Do I want to carry them? This first step, simply seeing the weight we carry, is powerful. It does not fix everything, but it opens a small door inside, a door to something more peaceful, more kind, and more real. Expectations are not just ideas in the mind. Over time, they begin to shape how we see the world and how we see ourselves. They form a quiet lens through which we view every moment. This lens can make things feel heavier, more serious, or more painful than they really are. For example, imagine waking up and thinking, "Today must be a good day." At first, this sounds positive, but if the day brings something difficult, an argument, a delay, or bad news, then the feeling quickly turns. You may begin to think, "This should not have happened," or "My day is ruined." But the day itself is not the problem. It is the expectation that things must go a certain way. When we expect people to act kindly, we feel upset when they don't. When we expect our work to be appreciated, we feel hurt when it is ignored. When we expect our body to stay strong forever, we feel lost when it changes with age or illness. Again and again, our expectations create conflict. Not because they are always wrong, but because they leave no room for life to simply unfold. Inside our hearts, this conflict becomes a storm. Disappointment, frustration, anger, and sadness rise up. Often we blame others, or even ourselves. We may think, "If I were better, this wouldn't have happened." But in truth, much of this pain comes from the gap between what is and what we believe should be. This is not a call to stop caring or to give up. It is an invitation to become more aware of the stories we carry. These stories are often quiet, but they guide our feelings and choices. If we do not look at them, they become stronger. If we gently question them, they begin to soften. What would happen if we met each moment with fewer demands? If we stopped trying to make the world fit our picture, and instead allowed it to be what it is? This is not weakness. It is a quiet kind of strength. The strength to live with open eyes and an open heart. Why do expectations become so rigid in our minds? Why is it so hard to let go of how we think things should be? The answer begins with fear. Deep inside, Many of us fear change. We fear the unknown. Expectations give us something to hold on to. They make the world feel more predictable, more safe. If we believe, if I do this, then that will happen, we feel some control. But life does not always follow these rules. When we hold too tightly to our expectations, our mind becomes stiff. We stop listening. We stop learning. We only want what matches our plan. Everything else feels wrong, or even dangerous. This is the root of mental rigidity. It is not born from strength. It is born from fear. Over time, we begin to protect our expectations like they are treasure. We defend them in arguments. We avoid situations that might challenge them. We choose relationships, jobs, and even beliefs that keep us safe inside the world we already know. This might feel comfortable, but it also keeps us small. The mind loves patterns. It loves habits. But when these habits become walls, we are no longer living freely. We begin to suffer, often without knowing why. We may say, I feel stuck, or something is missing, or life feels heavy. But the cause is often this tightness in the mind, this refusal to allow anything new. Some people believe that being strong means never changing, never bending. But look at nature. A tree that cannot bend in the wind will break. A river that cannot move around a rock will become blocked. Flexibility is not weakness, it is wisdom. The mind that can adjust, that can see many sides, is a free mind. To begin softening this rigidity, we do not need to fight it. We simply begin to notice it. When we feel resistance, when we hear ourselves say, it must be this way, we can pause. We can ask, is this true? And what else might be possible? In that small pause, space appears. And in that space, something new can grow, something less controlled, but more alive. One of the most common words in our inner world is should. I should be happier. Things should be easier. They should understand me. It shouldn't be like this. These small sentences carry a quiet pain. They seem simple, but they create a deep struggle inside us. When we say should, we are often comparing reality with an idea. And most of the time, reality does not win. Think of a moment when life surprised you in a way you didn't like. Maybe someone disappointed you. Maybe a plan fell apart. Maybe you faced illness, loss, or failure. Often, the pain is not just from what happened, but from the voice that says, this should not have happened. That voice adds a second layer of suffering. Should becomes a rule, a fixed belief about how things must be. But life is not a machine. It does not follow our personal rules. It moves in ways we cannot always control or predict. When we fight this, we suffer. When we hold on to our shoulds, we feel angry, bitter, tired, or even hopeless. Sometimes we turn should against ourselves. I should have done more. I should not feel this way. We become our own judge. We try to shape ourselves into a perfect version based on ideas from others or from our past. But perfection is not human. It is a shadow we can never catch. Letting go of should does not mean we stop caring. It means we stop pushing. It means we stop trying to force life into a narrow shape. This brings a quiet relief. We can begin to accept things as they are, not because they are perfect, but because they are real. Acceptance is not the same as agreement. We can still hope, still work for change, but we do it from a place of understanding, not from resistance. We begin to live with what is, not just with what we imagined. When we loosen our grip on should, we may feel a little sad at first, but then we feel something else. Space. Space to breathe, to see clearly, to be kind to ourselves and others. That space is where healing begins. When life does not go as planned, we have two choices. We can resist it, or we can bend with it. Flexibility is the quiet power to bend without breaking. It does not mean we give up or lose our way. It means we move with life, not against it. In the natural world, we see this clearly. A soft branch bends in the wind and survives the storm. A river flows around rocks and keeps going. Nature does not fight change. It responds to it. This is not weakness. It is strength in its most peaceful form. In our daily lives, flexibility looks like this: changing plans when needed, listening instead of arguing, staying calm when things are uncertain. It means holding our thoughts lightly. When someone disagrees with us, we do not need to be right. When something changes, we do not need to panic. We learn to stay open. This openness creates peace inside. When we stop trying to control everything, we begin to relax. We sleep better. We feel lighter. We stop wasting energy on battles we cannot win. And slowly, we begin to trust life, not because it is perfect, but because we are learning to dance with it. Many people think peace comes from everything going right. But real peace comes from within. It comes from knowing we can face life as it is. Even when things are difficult, we do not close our hearts. We stay present. We stay soft. We let go of the need to control every outcome. This kind of flexibility grows over time. It starts with small steps, pausing before reacting, listening without planning what to say next, allowing others to be different from us. These may seem small, but they create a big shift inside. In this way, flexibility becomes a spiritual practice. It is not just about behavior. It is about attitude. It is about remembering that peace is not outside us. It is something we can grow, one choice at a time. As we soften, the world feels softer too. Not because the world changed, but because we did. Some of the most powerful lessons in life do not come from books or teachers. They come from simple, everyday moments. Moments that surprise us, break our routine, or show us something we didn't expect. These are the moments when life itself becomes the teacher. One day, I missed a train. It was a small thing, but I had planned everything carefully. Missing it meant I would be late, and in my mind, that was a failure. For a moment, I felt frustration rise. This should not have happened. But then I looked around. The sun was shining. A child was laughing nearby. The world was still here, still moving, and I realized only my plan had broken, not the day itself. Moments like this remind us that we often suffer more from our expectations than from the events themselves. A delay, a change in plan, a mistake. These are all part of being human. When we hold them lightly, they become teachers. When we fight them, they become pain. I once spoke with a woman who had lost her job after many years. She told me, "At first, I was angry. I kept thinking, this is not fair. This shouldn't have happened. But later, I saw it differently. It gave me time to rest. It helped me see how tired I was. And slowly, something new opened up." Her story is not rare. Many people find that what first feels like an ending becomes a beginning. But these lessons do not come from thinking alone. They come from being present. When we stop asking, "Why me?" and start asking, "What is this showing me?" something inside shifts. We begin to listen. We begin to grow. Everyday life is full of these quiet teachers. A cancelled plan, a hard conversation, a mistake, even boredom or loneliness. These moments carry messages, not in words, but in feeling. If we can pause and receive them, they guide us towards something deeper. Not every moment is easy, but each one has the power to open the heart, soften the mind, and show us a new way of being, with less control and more trust. When we begin to let go of rigid expectations, we often ask, what do I hold on to instead? The answer is not another rule or belief. Instead, it is a way of being, a softer way of meeting life, one that is not full of judgment or pressure, but full of gentle curiosity. Curiosity means being open to what is happening, without needing it to be different. It means asking, what is this moment showing me? Instead of, why is this happening to me? This simple shift changes everything. It takes us out of fear and into openness. It helps us meet life as a friend, not an enemy. Gentle curiosity is different from trying to fix or analyze everything. It's more like watching a bird fly or listening to a story. You don't try to control it. You just stay present, and you let it unfold. This is a peaceful, loving way to be alive. In times of struggle, curiosity can be a light. When we feel sad, we can ask, what is this sadness like? Where do I feel it? When someone upsets us, we can wonder, what are they going through? What is this reaction teaching me? These questions are not meant to find quick answers. They are meant to open space to breathe, to feel, to understand. Many people live with hard voices in their heads. Voices that say, you're wrong, you failed, you should be different. Gentle curiosity is a new voice. It says, let's look, let's learn, let's see what's here. It is the voice of kindness, and it helps us become more human, not less. When we live this way, we begin to trust life again. Not because it is always easy, but because we are no longer fighting it. We are walking beside it, moment by moment. We let each experience come, stay, and pass, like waves on the shore. This way of living does not need a special place or special time. It can happen while washing dishes, talking to a friend, or sitting alone. It is always available. All it asks is that we soften, listen, and stay curious. As we come to the end of this reflection, I invite you to consider something gentle. Life does not always need to be figured out. It does not always need to make sense or match our ideas. Sometimes, the most peaceful moments come when we stop holding everything so tightly. We live in a world that often praises control, perfection, and certainty. But the heart moves in a different rhythm. It grows in openness, it heals in softness, and it finds peace not by forcing, but by allowing. Letting go of the hard edges means loosening our grip on how things must be. It means softening the voice that says, it has to go this way. It means learning to meet each moment as it is, without armor, without judgment. This does not happen all at once. It happens slowly, like winter turning into spring. There may still be cold days, but the ground is changing underneath. In the same way, small shifts in how we see and respond can open a much wider, calmer inner space. If you ever feel lost or overwhelmed, it may help to pause and ask, can I meet this with less resistance? Can I stay open, even now? These quiet questions are like lanterns. They do not give all the answers, but they help light the way. Letting go is not giving up. It is choosing to walk through life with less fear and more trust. It is remembering that we do not need to be perfect to be at peace. We only need to be present, honest, and kind to ourselves and to the world around us. Thank you for spending this time with me. If you found something helpful here, I'm deeply grateful. Your kind support, whether through liking the video, subscribing to this channel, leaving a comment, or offering a super thanks, means more than words can express. It helps this space stay alive, and it reminds me that these quiet reflections can still reach gentle hearts across the world. Until next time, may your days be soft, your steps steady, and your heart at ease.